What's up, everybody? It's MC Lyfe.
It's Jonnyo.
And today we have special guest,
Tony Ray.
Tony Ray. What's up, Tony Ray?
Man, what's going on?
So, my cousin Jonnyo told me that you're an up-and-coming podcaster, YouTuber, social media influencer. What is the title you want to get? You want to let people know? Who are you, and what do you do?
Man, that's
No, we get right to it.
No, because people ask me that in the past because I've done so much, from being an intern in radio, being on air a little bit, promoting parties, doing concerts. So I don't know what my title is, man. I do so much, but I'm cool with podcaster. I'm cool with all them titles, honestly, because I do everything. So
yeah.
We just gonna see what click first.
When people ask me what I do, I just say I do it all. So I feel you that, because like sometimes we social media influencers, sometimes they're rappers, sometimes we have to might kick somebody's ass. Who knows what? It might be a fighter today, might be a lover tomorrow, might be podcaster or whatever. I know recently you said that you started your channel. Yep. And what is the channel called? And where can they find it?
Yeah, so it's on YouTube and Instagram. It's at Grade School Media. It's a concept that I didn't have for a few years. Of course, Jonnyo, he know that. It's basically me continuing the radio skill set that I developed in North Carolina. And so I've been out in LA for a few years, and I'm just like, man, the skill set that I learned, let me start my own thing and just see if it works. So when you watch the podcast, it's mainly like me covering nostalgic content, 90s era content. I got a bunch of rappers, actors, people we seen on TV.
Who are some of the biggest stars that you would say that people could recognize? Like, could you say it's actors on TV? So who's the most, I guess, well-known person you would say you interviewed so far?
All of them are well known, but I'll name a few. Some of them aren't out yet, but I got Tequan Richmond. He played the character on Everybody Hates Chris. He was the little brother on Everybody Hates Chris, Drew. So I got him, and it's crazy. He's from North Carolina.
So you're from North Carolina?
Yeah.
Born and raised?
Born and raised, Raleigh, North Carolina, South Side. And I've been in LA since 2018, so I consider this home now. But my roots is Raleigh, North Carolina, though. But back to the podcast. I mean, Tequan Richmond. I had Shar Jackson. She was an actress back in the day. She was on Moesha.
Moesha. That's
Moesha with Brandy.
Okay, yeah, it was on UPN 13, right?
That's a classic channel. Everybody knows about it.
She was on Good Burger, too.
Yeah.
You seen Good Burger?
Good Burger, the first one? Or
the first one.
Okay,
she was the only black girl on the first one. So just people that we seen on TV and movies in the 90s, you probably don't see them do interviews or nothing, but that's kind of what I'm doing. I feel like when it's all said and done, I told them, I feel like this might revive some careers. So we'll see where it goes. So
you see what happened with Orlando Brown, man. He revived it in a whole different way. Oh, yeah. I see his interviews. I'm like, damn.
We almost had him too, but he overbooked. We had him in the can.
I think he just oversmoked, man. Yeah. I seen a lot of the interviews, and you probably saved yourself. Yeah. You might have got the clickbait and dang, this and that with Orlando Brown, but me, when it comes to our platform, we want to interview people like you, such as yourself, influencers. We've had an MMA kickboxer. We've had
a
rapper. We've had a female rapper. We've had Theo, and then we got a couple other people like graffiti artists, and then just a bunch of people. Now, with your platform, you say you're mainly doing celebrities and actors, because the people we're interviewing, they're not so really known, but eventually they will get known, or who knows, they might be the next superstar.
I'll say this: we starting off with notable actors and some rappers, but the point of Grade School Media is we going behind the scenes. We students of the game, and so we uncovering different parts of the industry. When you watch an interview with an actor, I'm asking them, how was life on set when you were a child? How was it going to school and being an actress or actor at the same time? I'm just going behind the scenes. So it's starting as me interviewing actors and rappers, but it's kind of like we students, we learning everything, so it won't be a actor or a rapper every time. Sometimes you'll just see me talking and covering subject matters or
up and coming. But for the most part, it is actors and people that we've seen on TV. Yep. But eventually, you will go into other outlets.
Yep.
And that's dope because some of these actors have a lot of stories, because Jonnyo could probably touch on that with the acting.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying the concept that he's coming up with, people knowing about the backstory of actors. People want to know they want to become an actor. They want to know exactly the gifs and in and out of it, what type of experience. And like you know, that's a good idea for people. And then also too, with you bringing up these 90s actors, these shows were like the top-notch shows when we were younger.
Oh,
There's no shows like that no more.
They don't make,
you know, and then, you know, we don't got like Nickelodeon and all that. That's all the stuff that we grown up to. And then for the new generation, I feel like they need to know these type of actors. Like you said, you're gonna revive these actors. Like your second episode you just came out, Wesley Jonathan. A lot of people don't know who he is, but you know, one of the classic movies is Road Bounce. The one I was telling you, with
Bow Wow, right?
Yeah, a lot of people don't really remember. Like I was trying to explain to you.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who he was. He was like, bro, it's this person. I was like, man, I don't even read enough credits.
I gotta show pictures to people to understand.
But
Wesley Jonathan has been
too, so you also kind of like on set, because I remember you'd come home from like sets and I'd be like, hey, how was he? But oh, Matthew McConaughey was cool. Oh, so and so was cool. Or this guy was he didn't really want to talk to nobody. And because you're right, a lot of us don't know what goes on on set, on the scene, and then you see these little reunion shows. Like, did you watch the Martin reunion show?
I didn't.
I watched the Martin reunion show.
Oh yeah, I did. And I
didn't realize how much drama, controversy, how much they didn't even like each other, and all that you kind of hear about it, because back then you didn't really have Instagram and Twitter and
we didn't have all
Facebook.
the social media. Everything was on a tablet, on a piece of, like, you know, those magazines you buy for like $2-3 that your parents read, but at the end of the day, all that's just false. Now we got TMZ, we're able to find all this stuff. You know, so a lot of the stuff that we thought that behind the scenes, you thought, oh, okay, they got along, but at the end of the day, they just got along once you said action. But once after that, they went home, got their paycheck, and said, all right, I don't want to deal with MC Lyfe today. I'll deal with him next week. I don't want to deal with Tony. I got to deal with him on this next scene for 10 minutes. But, you know, like Tony with the podcast, a lot of people need to know this type of stuff, you know?
Yeah, man. I at this point, like, you know, I've been on this grind for the last 10 years from North Carolina to here. So I'm, you know, slow grind. I ain't tripping. I just, more than anything, I just want to make sure that I use the skill set that I already developed, and just see where it goes.
Right? You said radio. So in North Carolina, were you a radio host? Like
I was an intern for the most part. Like, so basically, it randomly happened. And the story is crazy. It will be here all day long, but it randomly happened, and it just turned into, like, so basically what Big Boy is to LA. There's a guy in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Brian Dawson. He's what Big Boy is to LA. That's what he is to Raleigh. He took me under his wing, and he was just basically like, yo, you gonna be with us in the station, you gonna be with us in the club, we'll shout you out on air, we'll do different things. You a part of us though. Nobody don't gotta know that you don't officially work for the station, but we're gonna give you gonna have the same image we have, basically. Develop the same skill. Yeah, so that's kinda how it happened. And it turned in from me doing that to, you know, different people I went to school with reaching out like, yo, you should do your own thing. And you know, I just gave it a try. So I'll never forget December 13th, 2013, I did my first club event, because I started noticing, like, I'd be with them in the club, and everybody that I know would be in the club, and I'm like, dang, I'm here, but I ain't getting no money. Like, I'm just, you know, so I'm like, let me just try it.
Try this promoting thing, because being a promoter's hard.
Man, so hard. But the first event, like, literally, this is when social media wasn't so oversaturated. And so, literally, I posted the flyer one time, posted the Eventbrite link one time, packed house. And from there, it was just...
How big was the club? How big was the venue?
Capacity probably 300. Yeah. 300.
And you said you weren't making no money before, right? And that was just being a part of the radio entourage. Now, as the promoter, are you getting the full door? Are you getting a bar percentage? What are you now seeing that you're like, hey, because me, I feel you. I felt you, because I was getting booked, and I was like, man, all my homies are coming up. All my homies are right here. We're the whole crowd. But I ain't getting no money. I'm paying these guys to play. So when I was in your shoes, I started pretty much making money. I was like, yeah, I ain't going back to that. So how did you feel when you started making money off being a promoter?
I'm glad you asked that. I mean, I try to tell people don't understand the promoter game. They just, from the outside looking in, it's ups and downs in it, right?
They don't see it when there's nobody shows up and you in a whole couple $100.
They don't understand that even if people show up, sometimes, depending on the scenario that you in, whether you got the whole door or not. For one, when I worked in Raleigh, this is why I am the way I am now with events. I never made money off the bar. I never got a percentage off the bar, no matter how packed the club is. So, you know, I'm young, so I didn't know no better. But then it's just like,
Told you that bar money comes in.
Well, yeah.
People don't understand. You got to pay security. If you got a person that's working the door, you got to pay them.
Yep.
You got to pay the DJ.
Yep.
And if the bar don't make a certain amount, if the club don't rock with you like that, you got to make sure that the bar make a certain amount.
You gotta get the
Luckily,
back end.
I had a club. Shout out to Damson. At Club Nouveau in Raleigh. He's the only owner that ever gave me a chance. Like, yo, do your thing. Just take the door. I'm gonna take my bar and just make as much money as we can. So
he still owns the club. Is he still up there?
Yep.
Is Raleigh, North Carolina?
Yeah, Raleigh Nouveau Lounge in Raleigh, North Carolina.
I'm gonna check out y'all when I go out to North Carolina. We're gonna go on tour. We're gonna take the homie for sure.
Yeah, North Carolina's nice.
I've never been to North Carolina, and that's where Michael Jordan's from, right?
Yeah.
See, all the greats are coming out. You feel me? They're coming out here, killing it. So that's tight though. So oh my bad. Go ahead, keep going.
Nah, so I mean, at the end of the day, it's ups and downs in it. You know, I've had wins, but I'm not gonna lie. I was young when I started. I started when I was 20, 21, and so I've taken more L's being a promoter than actually winning. Some people will look at it like, oh man, that event was popping, and at the time, it's crazy. I'm sleeping on my mom's couch doing all this. People don't know much about me unless I tell them, but at the time, I'm trying to come up. Like, I didn't ask to even be a promoter, but it started working, so let me just do it. I mean, I'm trying to come up, so.
What works, keep it going.
It'll be nice. I come home, and I just broke even or I lost. And my mom, she like, did it go well? How did it go? And I had my head down like, man, like, I'm going to just try again next week. And, you know, now that I look back at it, I'm 31 now, so now that I look back on it, I mean, it was me paying my dues. And, you know, everybody else that came to my events, they praise it. And, you know, I had a lot of good, you know, things that happened. I did shows with Live Nation. That went well. We did that with 21 Savage back in 2016, right when his career was starting. So I got a lot of different highlights, but I would say, you know, the promoter game is not what people think it is. For the artists, when you're doing a showcase,
hell no, it ain't. Yeah,
when you're doing a showcase and you're dealing with artists, and the artist might not like something that happened, or they might feel like you're making money off them, and they don't understand that, yo, I'm finna lose on this event.
Yeah.
I gotta pay security, I gotta pay the DJ, the venue. Like,
yep.
I'm finna lose, but I'm doing this to give y'all the platform. So again, I look at it as me paying my dues, and you know, the promoter game, it put me right here where I'm at now. So I just do spot events, and I make it make sense when I do it now. But yeah, it was crazy.
When you say that you lost a lot, as a promoter myself, because I did the same thing. You rent out a venue, you hope that everybody shows up. Like, for example, we did the RMA with Immortal Technique. About 1,500 people showed up, right? The venue holds about roughly 1,800. Even with everybody, like, it was sold, like, quote unquote sold out, but it wasn't. We still had like 500 tickets we could have sold. I lost on that because the venue was $10K. The insurance was like $3K. The artist was $10K, and if we hit over 1,000 tickets sold, they were like, yo, we need this on the back end. And so the whole entire show cost about like 32, maybe 1,000, right? And I only made about 20, maybe 20K. So I was in the whole 12K. And it's like you said, people don't see that because they see the pictures. And I'll put the pictures up here too. Like, it looks like there's a bunch of people there. Everybody's making money, but you, as the promoter, you're the only one that's like, yo, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm going to go home and cry now because I'm going to count all my losses. But you said, like you told your mom, I'm going to do it again next week. I'm going to keep going and keep going because that one L, okay, so that was one show, right? I went and did a show with Hieroglyphics and Visionaries and Conejo and a bunch of other dope MCs. And that show, it was the same venue, about the same price, about 20 to like 30K for the whole show. We made about 52,000.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't count it as winning or being in the profit because I still count my losses from the other show. So now I'm breaking even.
Right.
And then another show will go on and another show go on, and then COVID hit, and then we were done. And then it was like a wrap after that.
Yeah, I would say, like, even from Raleigh to here, like, I did my first event in LA in 2021. It was for BET Awards weekend. We did it at a rooftop right across from Capitol Records in Hollywood. And if you look on my Instagram right now, the event looks popping. Like, it was people everywhere.
By the Capitol Records thing, the little in LA?
So, right across from it, it's a rooftop. And so, If you look at that, man, it's a guy walking around with a big snake. Everybody's taking pictures. There's a red carpet, backdrop. It looks good.
The snake over there.
YG DJ is there. Like it's lit. But I lost on that event. People don't know that I won more on it, like on the back end with resources. But
doors open after that.
Yeah, financially, I lost on that event though, because I didn't have my licenses together. I spent about $5K on the venue. I spent about $3-4K on alcohol that I couldn't sell. So people don't understand. Like I was okay with taking the L because I got so much from it. But people don't understand what goes into this and the trial and error and the flaws that come into play when you're doing an event or promoting an event. So yeah, man, it's a crazy game. But when you actually love it, because I love event planning, so you'll take an L and you'll do it again. Just try to be better the next time.
Yeah. Maybe have like a smaller budget. Like what I'll do is like the Slick Rick show, for example. We did this early this year. It was a mess. First off, it was supposed to be in Santa Ana. Then something happened, and the tickets weren't set. Like the ticket sales weren't there. And this is the first time I'm speaking on it because it's already said and done. It's over with, and people that are gonna watch this will be like, "Oh, now it makes sense."
Yeah.
So we invested in the show, and then luckily Slick Rick's agent and them gave me a super deal because they're like, "We see that the ticket sales aren't there. Everything's just not there." We went to a smaller venue and we sold it out. We had about 500-600 people there, and I still took a L. I still lost a couple racks that night. But it's the lesson you learn because before that, I did shows with Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, the whole Griselda camp, right? Sold out. They charged us $15K. We made about $25-30K. Shout out to Underground Hip Hop Blog. They were the ones constantly telling me like, "Hey, bro, you should invest into this. You should invest into that." And then we did Hieroglyphics again in LA, and this was like the last show I did before COVID, and it was like my birthday show. They gave me a super deal to where that night I made about a good $30,000, right? And the whole entire show only cost me $12,000.
Solid.
And then I got extra bonuses because then we did the meet and greet, add that up. And then this is where I was kind of like, damn, you want to get in bar percentages because every event that I do, unless it's with the Riverside Municipal Auditorium, because they'll never give me a bar percentage. But like the Hideaway always hooks it up. What do you call it? Catch One always hooks it up. But it's like you said, you have to hit those numbers.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you something if you're not hitting any numbers. The Hieroglyphic show we did, 32, I think it was 32 or $28,000 in bar sales on a Sunday night, which was usually Sunday's the slowest night. They never sell out, and this is what the promoters were telling me at the time. The people who worked there, and we made a good amount of money to where that 10% of the bar, they're like, you know what? I know we said 10%. We're gonna give you 15%. And I was like, damn,
that's love.
Extra spending money.
This is what I was gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you like this. It also, when you in the game, and I was so green when I first started because I was young. Yeah. But you gotta also understand your surroundings too, and the people that you're around, because you never know. Like looking back on it, you'll realize, oh man, maybe they was trying to sabotage it. But it's just like, yo, it's been times where I did events and the bar make $10,000, $20,000, and I still lose. I don't get none of that. I got to still pay.
Yep. And you still got to pay them.
Yeah, I got to pay security. I got to still pay this. So it was just like, man, as a young person and what I went through in this game, I just like, it molded me to be what I am now. But I just encourage anybody, and this is how I am now. If you want to be a promoter, event planner, whatever, get you your team together, but keep everything in house. Try to keep everything as in house as possible. Right now when I do an event, going forward, whenever I do decide to do an event, I just, if I'm not making money from alcohol, the door sales, VIP, I'm not doing it. So that's why I'm not really into it as much as I.
When's the last event you did? When and where was the last event that you...
The BET one?
The BET one.
And that was when?
2021, he was saying.
2021 for BT. That was June 2021.
What are we in, 24?
21. We were in 24.
No, what are we now?
24. Yeah,
so
24.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Do
you ever get the itch to do more shows?
Yeah. I was trying to do one this year. I mean, I think about doing shows all the time. It's just, for one, sometimes it's a budget thing, but then also it's like the state of the world right now is different. Like a lot of crazy stuff is happening. So
people aren't buying concert tickets no more. They're not.
You gotta like damn near. It gotta be like Rolling Loud or a festival or something. Like going to a club now and going to shows. It's like it don't feel safe to a lot of people now. So you kind of, when you're doing an event, that's why I don't like when people call me a promoter. I'm like, it's cool, but I don't really like being called a promoter, because then you think of like, oh, we going to a club or something. But think of like an event planner, because we can go and take a art gallery and put a bar in it and make it what we want it to be, or we can go find a blank warehouse or whatever and turn it into what we want it to be. So I feel like those events are more efficient and safer than going to a club nowadays. People go to the club, but you got to look at it. When people is going on vacation or want to go out, they're going to Vegas, they're going to Miami, whatever. So here in LA, man, unless you in West Hollywood and you know what I mean, people ain't going to the club like that.
No, they're not going to the club.
No, they be in downtown Riverside. I pick them up all the time doing Uber.
Yeah, we got too many people in downtown Riverside. But Tony, off of that, since all the stuff that's been going on with the YouTube channel and everything going well for you, do you hear any outside? You got any outside noise or any drama going through back from North Carolina from your people?
Of course. I mean, that's.
What do you mean, like people hating on you?
Of course. I mean, they
why? Because they can't make it to LA.
Nah, you know what it is.
It's because what they see, what you're doing. They think.
A lot of people. Here's the thing, right? And I never name drop, but. I was responsible for a lot of people's careers in North Carolina. A lot of rappers that y'all see that they have come across my desk, or it's even rappers that and I can say this with a lot of it's rappers that I've discovered that, I just didn't have the money at the time, and people run off with the idea, and they are who they are now. And so, people left me behind and probably thought I wasn't going to be able to have a voice one day to speak about it. I wasn't going to make it as far as I made it. So, of course, the outside noise be people making fake pages and, just, making threats and, trying to remind you who you used to be in the past. But I just feel like I'm in a space now where, God has put me around all the peers that I should be around. Actors, musicians. I'm out here in Hollywood. I mean,
it's just noise, like you said. It's just noise.
It's noise, bro. Like, it ain't. It ain't, because at the end of the day, I know in real life how I am, but I also know like I got a journey to go on. So I can't, the streets is over, bro. Like, for everybody out there that come from the streets or whatever, the age that we live in right now, it's better to take care of your family, get creative, have a dream, and chase that. The streets is over. It ain't no loyalty, no principles out here. It ain't no street rules or codes that's being followed. So I just feel like, it don't even matter about no outside noise now. It's like, it's over with. You can't even, being a gangster ain't even what a gangster used to be. I don't care what people say. Oh, Tony, he left North Carolina, never came back. Yeah, I went Hollywood. Sure, I sure did. Yeah, and I'm gonna stay here. This home now. I love it. I love it in California.
Okay, have you been back to Carolina?
Oh yeah, I go back all the time to see my mom. I'm just not as friendly as I used to be. I got my friends and the people that matter in North Carolina, I'm still connected to, and I'll shout him out because this is crazy. I used to do showcases too when I did parties, and so Arnold.
What's a showcase to you, first off?
A showcase is me getting a bunch of artists that created a little bit of local buzz around North Carolina and bring them together and put them on the show.
Oh, you did a show? Okay. Yeah, you did a show. Okay.
Yeah. So
we'll be doing shows like that. Yeah.
But one person that came across my desk when I was on the come up was the baby, and so a lot of people, man, they see him in the media or whatever. But I was actually able to be around them before
he blew up.
And so shout out to Arnold Taylor, man. One day I'm gonna be able to sit down with him. But Arnold Taylor, South Coast Music.
Arnold Taylor?
He's the owner of South Coast Music Group, the label that signed the baby and then got the baby to deal with Interscope or whatever. So
he's like, what's his name with your mustard?
My boy Miko.
He's like Miko. He's like.
Think of
kind of.
Think of QCP from that got Lil Baby and all them. Or think of Yo Gotti with CMG.
Like, okay, that's more. I know that name. I know that name. Yeah.
That's what Arnold Taylor is to South Coast. And honestly, man, when they were buzzing, I met Arnold through some circumstances. I did a show, and one day we're gonna talk about it on camera. But it was a little, whatever it was between my team and the baby team. But we was able to get it resolved, and after that, me and Arnold was like super cool, and he was super cool about the situation. He was glad everybody was able to get out of there safely, whatever. And he just, you know, every time I hit him after that, I hit him with an idea, text him. Even after I moved out here, the baby be super popping, got Grammys and all that, and he'll always respond. I send him my idea, and he'll always respond like, "Yo, let's put it together, let's do it." So
has it been like that lately or no?
It's still like that. I haven't talked to him in a while, but it's still like that. That's why I brought him up, because if you're thinking about North Carolina, if you want to check in North Carolina, a lot of things be smoke and mirrors, but the person to connect with in North Carolina is Arnold Taylor for sure. Okay. The media, music, all that. He's the person.
Arnold Taylor.
Yep.
I'm gonna holler at that for. Hey, the homie said it was cracking. Like, cause we're gonna be doing a state to state tour pretty soon.
Okay.
And all these things that we're doing and all these places and these names, we want to connect with them. We want to be like, hey, your family out there said, boom, this is what it is. And you said the baby, like, I'm not a personal fan. If you watch the last podcast, I'm not a real fan of his music. Yeah. But I'm sure he's a good dude, and I'm sure he's got a lot of good. I mean, positive shit over there. You feel me?
I don't know much about him, so that's why I reference Arnold more. But the show, I did a local show, and it was cool because I hit Arnold. We had like a radio relationship, and I'm like, yo, I'm doing the Carolina showcase. Let me get the baby. Like, the baby was just getting outside of. He used to be Baby Jesus, and then he transitioned to the baby. So
really?
Like,
isn't it Baby
no, I didn't know that.
It was Baby Jesus 704.
Yeah,
and
I bet a lot of people probably didn't know
before
that.
he signed the deal, it was Baby Jesus, but it was so much controversy behind it when he signed the deal. They was like, just change the name to the baby or whatever. But I ran across him one time. I had one interaction with him. It was a showcase. And
so you booked him? You booked the baby?
So this is how it happened. Again, I had a radio relationship with Arnold. And so I hit Arnold one day, told him I had a show idea. And I'm like, yo, I need the baby on this show. Like, and he was like, all right, look, I'll look out for you, but get us a booking when we come to town. So I'm like, that's easy. Like,
coming to town, but in North Carolina?
Yeah, we coming. So they coming from Charlotte to Raleigh.
Right.
So we in North Carolina, but they coming from Charlotte to Raleigh. So it's
how far is that?
It's like a hour and a half, 2 hour drive.
Oh, it's like from here to San Diego.
Or like here from LA. It's like here to LA, right?
2 hours. 2 hours.
Or like San Diego, like here's like 2 hours.
So I'm like, all right, that's cool. I called Big Tex. Everybody from North Carolina know Big Tex. He owned the Star Bar. Prime place you go to. It's an urban spot. They got food and it's a club, etc. So I call him like, yo, the baby coming into town, he need a booking. He doing my showcase, but he need an afterwards booking. And I put him on the phone, whatever they figured out, they figured it out, and it happened. And so, I guess Arnold appreciated that because, I mean, of course, they came and did my show for free. And so, it didn't work out, though, because it was an altercation in the beginning. But, they still came and pulled up. And I'm forever grateful. I'm sure the baby will remember that story when he hear it and just be like, yeah. And one thing I'll say, too, because I know a lot of people see stuff in the media, and a lot of people think that they know somebody off of what they see, but I will say, like,
or they twist some words up around.
Yeah, I will say that his team, the baby team, he got a lot of solid individuals around him. Arnold is solid for one. He's a down to earth person.
And that's his manager again.
He owns the record label.
Okay, so
he pretty much discovered. Well, I won't say discovered him, but pretty much took him under his wing. That's how they got the deal with Interscope or whatever. But I would just say, of course, when you a rapper or a public figure, it's a certain image you got to uphold to get people attention or whatever, but they genuinely good dudes though in real life. North Carolina, we just a little aggressive.
I hear he gives back a lot. I always hear about the baby always giving back to like his community, always going back and like showing love to the local scene. And that's something you can never hate on as an artist or as an MC or a rapper or just anybody. Like, you don't have to be a rapper. Just if you make it big and you're still able to be in the streets, that's why people let you walk around freely. That's why, like Young Dolph and Nipsey, they would be out there just living just in the streets at their store because they take care of the community. They take care of their people. They're always giving back. And that's one thing I do always hear about the baby is that he always giving back to his community, and he's always giving back to his area,
Charlotte. I mean, and I won't try to. Because I'll say this: the baby is the first artist from North Carolina where we felt like, oh man, somebody from our area made it. I mean, of course we have J. Cole, but J. Cole kind of took another path to get to where he's at now. But I'm gonna be honest, like J. Cole is another one too. He's put a lot of resources and money into the community in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where the Dreamville Fest is held at. And so,
is the baby the one that beat that dude up on Instagram. That's when he got famous after that. That's how I knew him.
Yeah.
The dude was like in the jewelry store talking to the big ass dude, right? And he was like, "Hey man," I remember seeing the video. That was my favorite video.
It went viral, huh?
Yeah. No,
the dude, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, R.I.P. to dude. He ended up dying later on.
Man,
I think it was like an overdose or something. But like,
that sucks.
I never met dude before, but I think the dude was trolling him online for years.
He was trolling him.
He had been trolling him for years.
He was following him. He would show up to him, and he was just shopping.
He finally ran into him, and it was what it was. Like, you know. But I say this, like the image that the baby holds, it's not fake. Like that's North Carolina aura that you see. So like it might come off as overly aggressive, but that's just how we are. Like we respect everybody that respect us, and so you know they solid though. All this music, you know, it's whatever. Some songs be hard, some songs be like whatever.
I like that song with Pop Smoke.
That's fire.
That's my favorite song.
That's fire. He be freestyling a lot. He be killing them freestyles. So I guess that's his lane. But more all in all though, like and just to be clear, I wasn't talking about him when I said a lot of artists. I didn't discover the baby at all. But it's other stuff that'll come out later on. But yeah, man. I feel like I'm the next one from the area though, like the next influencer from the area. So I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing and uphold that.
How many other North Carolina influencers are there? Because if there can't be that many, I ain't never heard nobody out there.
You got my boy Fuchsia's TV. He don't really like being on camera though, but he's built his platform. He's one of the people that started with me and never fronted on me too. Okay, and his platform is doing really well on Instagram, YouTube. He interview a lot of rappers.
We'll put him up right here. It's called what?
Fuchsia's TV.
Fuchsia's TV on Instagram and YouTube, right?
Yeah, at Fuchsia's TV. And you know, he's kind of like Say Cheese, but he got his own version.
I keep hearing about Say Cheese. Who's Say Cheese?
Sean Cotton with Say Cheese TV.
Hey, that's all I keep hearing about. Man, you got to put me up on game because I know we got a couple. Probably got like 5 more minutes. But with Say Cheese and Fuchsia's TV, is that how you trying to put your platform? But because they're doing like what controversial stuff. All I hear about is like. I hear them talking about like Adam 22 and the No Jumper people. I love watching stuff like that.
I'm glad you asked me that.
Like Point and Shoot. You ever heard of Point and Shoot?
No.
That's my damn nobody ever. I think it's a SoCal thing. He's my favorite dude. Like this dude, I'm gonna put Point and Shoot up here, man. I'm gonna always give him shout outs, but that's where I get all my like. No Jumper real news, you know what I mean? He got the beef before. He got all the news, but I'm sorry, what were you saying?
What you asked me something.
Like people from North Carolina, like who's big and stuff. Yeah, biggest
influencers. Me personally, okay, Fuchsia's TV. Just because
Say Cheese
of the blog. Well, no, Say Cheese not from North Carolina. Just me was comparing the platforms, but. Fuchsia's TV, Head Graphics. For people, Head Graphics is going to be on my platform soon. Head Graphics, for people who don't know, Head Graphics is an influencer that used to edit videos when social media was just starting. He
help me out, bro. We're trying to get them edits going.
When I say edit videos, he would put himself into music videos or movie scenes, and it'll look like he's really in a movie, but he's not. And it'll be like an old school movie or something. It'll go viral. And so he created the bruh button. If you ever heard bruh, that button, that's his voice. Oh, okay. He created that. So, you know, just stuff like that.
My son always plays them damn videos.
Yeah, so we got a few influencers that but
and then yourself,
myself. I feel like for my age group, 25 to 30, 31, on and up, like I feel like I'm the next generation media. You know, the radio game is an old man's game, and they did a lot of gatekeeping, and so that's why you see so many podcasts and so many streamers because they kind of kept the next generation out of the radio. So I just feel like even though they did keep us out, I still developed the skill set by being there, and I just feel like eventually it'll be where it's at. And I just to close out, I mentioned Say Cheese, Fuchsia's, even Vlad TV, Drink Champs, No Jumper, all those platforms. I respect everybody's platform, and I know that people have even your platform. I respect your platform too, and so
appreciate it, man.
Everybody have their own lane and what they do. And sometimes that'll make somebody nervous to start a podcast, but me, I'm like, I got my own lane too. And so however long it takes for me to get where I'm going, I'm not tripping because I still watch everybody's stuff. So
heck yeah.
I respect everybody's stuff, man. And like, comment, subscribe. Where
can they find you at on Instagram, X or Twitter? I think it's called TikTok and YouTube.
So All my platforms I'm on Instagram more than anything.
Instagram, YouTube,
Tony Ray 919 on Instagram. I got my own personal YouTube too, but it's Tony Ray 919 on everything, and then the podcast everywhere is at Grade School Media. It's spelled normal. But yeah, man, you can find me on those platforms, and I appreciate any support so far. I appreciate y'all for having me. And
always, man. Tony, we're gonna have to do a couple of these because you get. I want to bring guests back in a couple months because we're gonna do seasonal podcasts. This is our first season, and once the summer's over, we'll probably go to the second season, so on and so forth. But once again, we have our special guest,
Tony Ray.
My name is MC Lyfe
Jonnyo.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're about to hit 40,000 subscribers. We just today hit 39,000. So once again, if you guys can hit that like, comment, and subscribe, we're almost there. And also, don't forget to shout out all the homies on your platform. So who you want to give a shout out to one more time?
Man, shout out Fuchsia's TV. Of course, shout out Grade School Media. Yeah, man, shout out to my moms. I wouldn't be here without my moms. And,
There it is. We out, man. Peace.
Sweetness and Roll Bounce. I know you say you really wanted to do that film. Talk about the experience, the set life, just what you remember about that whole time of filming that.
All right, keep up because this is a long story. I'm going to try to sum it up.
It's all good.
All right, so when this film came about, so a lot of times with what happens with certain films that are being pitched or sold to a studio, what the casting director will do is call a bunch of actors and actresses that they know to come in and have a table read for the execs. So we'll sit around a table, and Roll Bounce happened to be one film that they called us to do this. Now, picture this: you sitting around a table, and you see Bow Wow because once the film is done, but prior to Bow Wow being a part of this project, Taj Mowry was Xavier at the table read. Okay. David Allen Greer was the father, Shy McBride's part. See that?
Okay.
So you started, and